you've been training for a while now, maybe 6 months, maybe a year or two, and you're starting to wonder, why am I not getting better at Muay Thai? You show up to classes, you put in the work, you watch fights, you're trying your best, yet somehow it feels like you're always hitting a wall. And you're not alone in this, all right? In fact, almost everyone who sticks with Muay Thai for long enough will eventually hit this point. And what's happening in your training right now actually might surprise you. Today, I want to talk about why this stage happens and why so many people quit here and what it really means about your growth.
Episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai Podcast is brought to you by pmtlifestyle.com. Authentic Muay Thai lifestyle by Pu'u. Definitely go check out the website at pmtlifestyle.com for some awesome lifestyle merchandise. That's for those of you out there either involved in Muay Thai, looking at getting involved in Muay Thai, and embrace a healthier lifestyle to live the life of the Nok Muay. Go check it out.
I want to talk about Black Room at Deep Studios. If you enjoy the content of this podcast, you will definitely enjoy the value that you get out of the Black Room and being a member of the Black Room. What it is it's a subscriber-based way to support the podcast. If you enjoy the podcast and want it to continue, I'm asking for your help. And in exchange, you're going to get an underground view of Muay Thai, American Muay Thai, as well as within Thailand. We have people who are now working on the ground in Thailand that are helping us get media, content, all that stuff. We're posting it there on Black Room, as well as behind the scenes footage of the podcast recordings when we're recording. After I stop recording for stuff that we broadcast, we put some subscriber based only content on there. So you're going to really get a lot of value out of that subscription. Okay. It's not just supporting the podcast. We also have podcast subscriber only merchandise that's coming out as well here in 2024. So you have to be a part of the Black Room in order to get access to that. So I'm asking you for your help on that, but I know that it's not so much of you helping me. It's going to be us giving you a ton of value that you're going to get and just enjoy it. And it's only $5 a month, right? You can cancel it anytime. Every little bit counts. Please go join it. The link is down in the show notes. All right. Anyways, sit back and enjoy the show. So what do you call? My name is Jonathan Pu'u, founder of Pu'u Muay Thai and host of the Pu'u Muay Thai Podcast. I've seen this pattern play out again and again over the years. Students start strong, they make fast progress, and then around like the 1-2 year mark, they slam into a wall. They don't just hit the wall, they slam into the wall. And some push through it and they grow into amazing martial artists. Others, they get frustrated and start to think that maybe they know it all about Muay Thai. And this is right before they start to really improve and feel comfortable with their basics, because it takes, like we talked about here, it takes at least 2 years to feel comfortable in your basics of Muay Thai. So that feeling of not getting better is what I call the plateau illusion. At the start of your journey, progress feels obvious. Every class teaches you something new, right? You feel like you're making progress. You learn your stance, your guard, how to block kicks, how to check, how to teep. You're learning your body kick, you're pivoting, you're able to get your hip over. I remember the first time I was able to kick up like towards the body. That was life-changing for me, literally, right? So everything just clicks at like a really fast pace then. And these are like in lifting or fitness, we'd call these noob gains, right? But after a while, you start making those big, you really stop making those big improvements, right? The growth gets quieter. More detailed and more internal. You start to notice all the little mistakes that you're making, all the imperfections, and it feels like you're regressing. You feel like you're actually like getting worse, right? Maybe your left kick started feeling better. Now it's trash again. Or maybe your right kick is feeling good. Your left kick's feeling better, but now your right kick's not as good, right? You have all these little things that go on with your body, and it can feel like you're just taking 2 steps back. But here's the truth. You're not getting worse. You're just becoming more aware of, how much you sucked, right? Just kidding. But you're becoming more aware of how much more there is to actually learn in Muay Thai. And this is where the Dunning-Kruger effect kicks in. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a psychological concept that says when you're brand new at something, an activity, a skill, you often think you're better at it than you are. And because you don't yet know what you don't know, right? Like you're new to this. So you think you're up here and really you're like down here like a baby, right? And that's why early on you feel confident, you're improving fast, your technique looks sharper than when you first started, obviously, right? Hopefully it's getting better. And that's why you're watching this video. And you feel like, you get it, right? But as you learn more, you realize how deep Muay Thai really is. You start realizing the different layers that are involved. You start to see layers you never noticed before. The timing, the control, the setup, rhythm, balance. This can be very overwhelming for somebody. I can liken it from going from like basic math to jumping up to like geometry, right? You're going from, addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. And then all of a sudden you're going over doing these complex algorithms, right? And suddenly you feel less confident than when you started. It's like a whole new program. It's like starting over again in a way, mentally. And that's the Dunning-Kruger drop. It's the point where awareness grows faster than skill. So I'm gonna have this graph up here on screen that has the Dunning-Kruger effect. If you're not watching, just Google Dunning-Kruger effect. And you'll see this kind of skill. It goes to like in the first 2 years, like I know everything about the skill to I know absolutely nothing. So it's just this big drop. It's the point where awareness really grows faster than skill. All right. You notice more mistakes now because you're developed enough to understand and to recognize them. You're able to be self-aware enough to know, like, hey, like I'm not coming up as high as I want on my kick. My leg's not straight here. I'm not breathing right. I'm crossing my feet after I land my kick. My stance is too square, whatever it may be, right? All these little nitpicking things that affect you in your development of Muay Thai. But you haven't yet built enough time and train to really correct them. Or those, small comments and corrections your coaches always make, right? Hey, hands tight. Make sure you're keeping your hands open when you're kicking. All these little details, those might be the keys towards progress for you. And you might just be brushing off like, oh, coach is always telling me to keep my hands up or keep my right hand glued to my eyebrow or touching my forehead or touching my hair, whatever it is when I'm kicking or when I'm throwing my knee or like when you're throwing your punch combinations or when you're sparring, right? Those little details, they matter. And there's a reason why your coach is saying them. So that gap between what you know and what you can do is where most people lose faith and just quit, right? It seems like they can't make that gap between where they want to be and where they can see themselves at now, and they can't make that gap grow smaller because of that Dunning-Kruger effect drop off, right? The irony is if you're in that gap, it means you're exactly where you're supposed to be in Muay Thai, all right? This is part of progress. You're not regressing, you're actually refining your basics. Your power might feel a little bit weaker because you're correcting your technique, right? So like your left kick might be slower because you're really being intentional about the movement now. Before you might have just been blasting and it was going all over. It's supposed to be a body kick, but it's like hitting the shoulder, it's hitting the hip, it's hitting like, their ass, kicking their butt, whatever it may be. And your timing might feel off because you're learning to be more deliberate, right? And you might feel slower because you're thinking more, you're being more cerebral in your movements. And that's just progress in disguise. This is something you're gonna have to learn how to adapt to this and to grow from it too. So don't let how you're performing in sparring as an example be a dictator of your overall progress. I see people all the time, oh man, I don't know what I'm doing. Like this is after like a rough sparring session or what they perceive as a rough sparring session. Remember, there's no winning in sparring. It's about what it is that you're trying to get out of it, right? So if you're always just trying to quote unquote win in sparring, that is a poor indicator of your progress and skill development in Muay Thai, right? So these are the invisible improvements, the ones that don't feel good, but are absolutely critical to your long-term development. This is part of having a good coach. Like people say, hey, can I learn online? Yes, but you need somebody to watch you. You need someone to mentor you, right? Every fighter, every coach, and every long-term student has lived through this stage. It's the valley of awareness, right? Once you climb out of it, everything changes, right? Like once you work through that valley, that peak is going to be that much sweeter once you get to it. All right. So how do you get through the stage of quitting? First, don't chase perfection, just chase consistency. You don't need to train more. You just need to stay steady on your course. The biggest breakthroughs really come after long stretches of showing up, even when it feels boring. This is one of those reasons why we encourage students to do like leadership training. So that way, when you're having times where you don't want to come train, you still show up. And it's like, it's for you, but it's also not just for you. It's for your team, right? Second, track your training. This is something that a lot of people do. Film yourself every few months, right? You have these smartphones that we have now. It's really easy to just prop it up in the corner and film your bag session or your pad work or, your shadow boxing even. Write down notes, ask your coaches for feedback, and invest in a private lesson with them to work on specifics. Like, hey, coach, what do you think I need to work on? Like, ask them and say, hey, I would like to do a private lesson with you. How can we do that so that way I can just work on this? All right. Because when you compare a clip from 6 months ago, you should really be able to see it, right? And your coach is going to see it. And the reason you can't just see it is because it's your day to day, right? Third, understand that frustration is feedback. If you're frustrated, it's because you've developed enough awareness to know what you think you need to fix, right? Or what you want to fix. That's not failure, it's a milestone. Like you being aware enough to understand that, hey, when you thought you were throwing your hand down when you kick, you're actually balling it up and keeping up like these little T-Rex arms, right? That's part of your awareness. It's okay. Like that's part of learning. And lastly, don't go at it alone. Talk to your teammates, talk to your coaches. They've all been there. And sometimes just hearing, yeah, I went through that too, is something that all you really need to stay motivated during that time. All right. To feel validated that, hey, you're not in this like Dunning-Kruger drop alone. All right. So once you push past that Dunning-Kruger dip, something incredible happens. Your confidence comes back, but this time it's earned. It's different. All right. It's not fake confidence. It's earned confidence. It's one of those things that you work through that self-doubt and you're starting to flow in your sparring, right? Like you get into that flow state, what some people call flow state. You're adjusting on the fly without panicking, right? You're not doing big reaches for leg kicks, right? Where you're exposing yourself. You're not losing your balance as much. It still happens, right? No one's perfect. And you're not thinking about every move. You're just kind of reacting and responding with what you've been trained in, right? You're allowing your nervous system to do what you've put these intentions towards and improving in Muay Thai. And that's where real mastery starts to build. And it's not from talent or luck, but just from like straight resilience and perseverance and the decision to keep training to the stage where your brain says you're not getting any better. Hey, I'm not getting any better. I should just quit. Or the all too common feelings of, I know everything there is in Muay Thai. I did Muay Thai for 2 years and I know everything about Muay Thai. You see this time and time again for people. They have quote unquote known everything about Muay Thai for 20 years. They did Muay Thai for 18 months 20 years ago and they thought they learned everything, right? But really they only had a surface level understanding of Muay Thai. Heck, even Bruce Lee had this with Muay Thai. All right. So if you can survive that moment, you can really do anything. Right? Seriously, you can apply that same principle of perseverance, of staying disciplined to any other aspect in your life. All right. It's one of the things that is a big takeaway for myself from training for the long term is really sticking to it even when I wanted to quit. Right. So next time you feel like you're not improving in Muay Thai, just remember you're just in the part of the journey where your awareness has outpaced your experience. All right. That's not a dead end. It's a checkpoint. If you push through it, you'll reach a level of confidence and skill most people never get to because they quit before they realize they're even getting, better all along. All right. So there's a point in my training that I like to share where I felt like I hit a plateau. And to be honest, I gave up on Muay Thai. I thought I'd given up on Muay Thai completely. This was 2 years into my training when I first started. So my first 2 years, I went to Thailand. I fought in Thailand, came back, fought again. But you know what kept me going at that time, though, was my training partners. All right. They helped me get rid of any excuses I had for not going to training. They simply wouldn't take no for an answer, right? They're like, no, you're not quitting. I share this story with people because it was my Dunning-Kruger, drops that I was experiencing. And I didn't have access to training. So it was easy just to write off like, oh, I'm at where this is all I can learn here, right? And our students, whenever we talk about long-term development, I bring this up to them as well, because had I quit in that moment and I actually stuck to my guns and actually quit Muay Thai, we wouldn't have our academies and this podcast, you wouldn't be here listening and watching this right now. All right. So just to think about the impact of sticking to something, you don't know what the outcome of it is going to be and the effect it's going to have on your life. All right. So it's very important to really work through those valleys. So that way, when you get to those peaks, you can look back and be like, I made it through that. And you can see when others are going through it and you can help them through it, lift them up with you. All right. This is a part of martial arts. You see in every martial art. Every martial art has this. Muay Thai doesn't have a belt system, like a ranking belt system. So it's harder for people to see this, because if you see like somebody's been a blue belt in jiu-jitsu for 3 years, right? Like they might be going through this too. It's normal. All right. So in other martial arts too, I just know jiu-jitsu because I have a lot of friends who did jiu-jitsu. So it's my easiest thing to relate to. All right. But that's going to be it for today's episode. And if you've ever hit that wall in your Muay Thai journey, the point where you almost quit, right? I want to know what helped you get through it. All right. Drop your story in the comments below if you're watching it on YouTube, or go to podcast.puumuaythai.com and drop it into the show notes. All right. And make sure to subscribe to the Pu'u Muay Thai channel for more insights, mindset, and breakdowns and conversations about what it really takes to grow in Muay Thai. Not just inside, but also outside of the ring. All right. Because like I said, these are skills that you can take with you for the long term. I also want to give a shout out to all of our supporters over on the Black Room, every single one of you. Remember, if you enjoy the podcast, go subscribe. I know it's small, but it helps out big time. And leave a review. It would mean the world to me. All right. I'll see you in the next episode. All right. That's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in today to the Pu'u Muay Thai Podcast. If you enjoy the content, go leave a review over on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Give us a rating. It means the world to us. Also, if you want to be a guest on the Pu'u Muay Thai Podcast, or if you just want to shout out to your friend, go check us out at podcast.puumuaythai.com. You can submit to be able to be a guest on the podcast. You can submit what you want to talk about. Also, if you want to just give a shout out, there's a button for that too. Sawadee Kop.